Bad in my leg.
Yes.
Somebody forgot to turn on the air conditioner. What's the matter?
Michael's in 760.
I need a key to get back up.
I got it.
How many cars we got downstairs?
Dave's going over in about, what, half an hour? You gonna go over?
I'll go over with everybody else. Is the bus going?
The bus is going at 6, yes.
I'll go on the
6,
bus.
6:30. You wanna go on the bus?
Definitely.
When Van Halen goes on the road, they go all the way. They do shows almost every night, and by the end of the tour, they've left their mark all over the world. It's not the most relaxing way to make a living, but the guys in Van Halen like it a lot. Hi, I'm Mary Turner, and for the next hour, we're going on the road with Alex Van Halen and David Lee Roth. So get ready for part 2 of Van Halen Off the Record.
Tell me about a typical day on the road.
A typical day goes like this, just sleeping. Ring, ding, get up out of bed, hey man, quick, bags in half, gotta leave in the yard. Hey baby, you gotta get out of here quick. Hey, wake up, we'll put my clothes on, I'm gonna jump in the shower, I'm out of the shower, here we go, we're in the hall, we're out of the hall, we're in the airplane, we're in the new seat. Ring, wake up, it's time to do the show, gotta wait a second. Get it, put my clothes on, I gotta jump in the shower, get out of the shower, get in here, listen to the radio, put that song, change that song, I hate that song. You're gonna, wait a minute, there ain't no radio in this city, oh my god. You're gonna jump out of the city, you get in the limo, you get out of the limo, you're gonna go in the show, you're gonna get in the show, you're gonna get out on stage, you're gonna jump on stage, you're gonna be doing your thing for an hour and a half, it's heaven. And then I'm ringing, quick, get backstage, we're gonna say, meet these people, oh, I gotta take a picture, you know, it goes like that, so. As you can see, you know, it's a pretty relaxed pace, it's, you know, it's... Take him a minute on a subway line. Conductor don't like it, says you're wasting your time. But everybody wants some too. Everybody wants some. Baby, how about you? I see a people that are looking for a movie. Yeah, stand a liar, got lost in the jet stream. Everybody wants some. I want some too. Oh yeah, everybody wants some. How about you? Oh where'd you get this? Oh, yeah. I like the way the line runs up the back of the stockings. I've always liked those kind of high heels too, you know. No, don't take them off. Don't take them off. Yeah, that's it. A little more to the right. Everybody wants some. I want some too. Whoa. Everybody wants some. Baby, how about you? Yeah. Everybody wants some. Everybody
up last night till 10 o'clock, got on a plane at 12. It's really disorienting. I mean, you do it every day.
Yeah.
But for one day in 6 months, we do it. And it's like, where are we?
Yeah.
What day is it? And what's happening?
I like it like that. It's always a new adventure right around the corner.
Is it disorienting to you, though, or you just sort of...
The only bad thing is when late at night, when you wake up and you have to go to the bathroom and you think you're in the last hotel, you take a right and you start taking a left. You walk right into the closet.
I did that. Remember the first gold record night in Aberdeen, Scotland?
Oh, yeah, that's
and
great.
we got wasted. The first night that we ever partied to celebrate like that. I was out of my mind. Like I passed out, and I rarely do that. And I fell like on the floor beside my bed, having, and all of a sudden I woke up in the middle of the night or middle of the morning, and I just had to make a dash, for the bathroom. And I jumped up, and I thought I was in the last hotel, and just slammed right through the window and tore all the drapes out. And it was like the Venetian blinds, everything just went like that, man. I still got some cuts. God.
Sure, you'll have some more tonight.
Hey.
You get in the nose.
We're awfully familiar, aren't we?
Awfully.
Well, my baby, she don't want me around. She said she's tired of watching me fall down. She wants a good life, all the best. But I like that bottle better than the rest. And she said, I think that you're headed for a whole lot of trouble. Well, I think that you're headed for a whole lot of trouble. Well, I think that you're headed for a whole lot of trouble. If you take your whiskey. With that liquor in the nighttime leaves strange memories. Seems a lifetime moves since yesterday. Come the daybreak, come tomorrow. That woman's waited up all night for me again. She said, I think that you're headed for a whole lot of trouble. Yeah, I think that you're headed for a whole lot of trouble. Certain boats are right. Everybody takes me at least halfway to the label. Before I can even make it through the night. Well, I think that you're in for a whole lot of trouble. Yeah, I think that you're in for a whole lot of trouble. Baby, and I think that you're heading for some trouble. If you take your whiskey home.
You mentioned partying for your first gold album success. Was that a thrill, gold album?
Well, it's kind of simple. It was like a step. It said, all right, now you can do something. Now you're going to be able to play next year. Really?
In Aberdeen.
Yeah, Aberdeen, Scotland.
We had a police escort out of the out of the city because somebody stole a hotel pillow.
Yeah. And nobody
God
had
forbid.
work permits.
That's
Nobody
what you're
had
wearing
work
on your head, the
permits.
hotel pillow from Aberdeen.
Last night I had a dream that I ate a 5-pound marshmallow. This morning I woke up, my pillow was gone.
He's been waiting to give you that one. He told me last night he was going to tell you that, and I told him, please don't.
I've got it written down on my hand right here. I've got it written down right
I
there.
saw it in his eyes when he walked in.
Fingers coming out of the gates, taking chances with a crash and burn. And to leave away the beauty, but you never get love. Cross the line with none return. I watch my television, almost lost my mind. It said, open your eyes, see that all behind.
Some bands put together baseball or basketball teams, and some even have hockey teams. For Van Halen, though, it's wall helmet and glove shoe teams. When we come back, Dave and Alex explain the rules of that sport, off the record.
KMET is a place to be for the rock and roll on your radio.
There's a lot more to a concert than what you see on stage. It takes a lot of planning, and every band has its own particular requirements, which are spelled out in a rider attached to the contract. Van Halen's rider is as outrageous as they are.
This rider is like about 2 inches big. It reads like a book. And most promoters ain't never seen something that big. And they call up going, are you out of your mind? Are you going to inspect this? And you go, yes, and so forth. And this way we can have a great show every time, as far as the stage size and so forth. There's no problems. Van Halen is almost never late in getting started because you specify exactly what and when and where and how many and how much. And right in the middle of it, because it is so preposterously big, is in between electrical requirements. There must be 500 amperes at 16,000 volts, etc. The next one says there shall be no brown M&Ms in the dressing room at pain of forfeiting the show. Then it goes back to electrical requirements. And we stuck it in there to see if anybody jumped. And everybody did. Everybody says, whoa! And they went out and sifted out all the brown M&Ms and everything. And what happened is we played a show at a facility, I think it was on a university campus or something. And I'm not really familiar with rock shows now. We were one of the first shows they've ever had there. And they left brown M&Ms in the dress. I became very emotional. Man, I was very upset. I wasn't going to play the show. And then I realized the only thing that would make me get my spirit back and want to play that show in Pueblo was a food fight. So we had a food fight and destroyed the entire buffet and all of the dinner and the hors d'oeuvres and all the drinks and everything, and everybody felt much better. And we went on and played a hellified show. Well, all the people had such a good time out in the audience that they tore up the bathrooms on their way out, and they got crazy in the parking lot and trashed the floor of the place and all this sort of thing that the hall is responsible. I'm not out there in the audience. They weren't aware of how to do that. People trashed the place and they blamed the whole thing on my M&Ms.
Tell me about the stage show for a lot of people listening who have never seen Van Halen yet. What could you tell someone who hasn't seen it? How could you describe it? But there's not a lot of pyrotechnics. I mean, it comes across huge.
We're just trying to do something that's real traditional. You have band, lights, and sound. And you have a tremendous amount of all three, but it's not lasers, it's not, fancy business like that. Because otherwise people are just coming to watch a light show. People are just like watching a TV show or something. And rock music is live. It's people to people. If you put screens on the side of the stage like they do at some of these big outdoor shows, your natural instinct from watching television for so many years is to watch the damn screen. And you immediately watch the screen. I watch the screen. And it's, you know, and that's your immediate impulse is to watch the TV, the big TV. And you start doing tricks with lasers and stuff. Hey, that's great. I'd love to see it, but it's not real good for the band. I saw a band, I won't say, but, you know, they had a tremendous laser light show. And I sat and I was awed by that thing. When light show was over, I left. You know, which isn't very good for the band, because either they have to change that light show radically every year of their whole career, or
Get new haircuts.
yeah.
And new lipstick.
Right.
Well, they say it's kind of frightening how this younger generation swings. You know, it's more than just some new sensation. Well, the kid is into losing sleep, and he don't come home for half a week. You know, it's more than just an aggravation. And the cradle will rise. Yes, the cradle will rise. And I say, rock crawl. Rock crawl. And when some local kid gets down, they try and drum him out of town. They say it could at least fake it, boy. Fake it, boy. At an early age, he hits the street, winds up tied with who he meets, and he's unemployed. Unemployed. Ow! In the cradle, will rise. In the cradle will rise. And I say, rock call. Rock call. Have you seen Junior's grave? And when some local kid gets down, they try and jump him out of town. They say you put a piece, faked it, boy, faked it, boy. And so at an early age, he hits the street, winds up tied with who he meets, and he's unemployed. His folks are overjoyed. And the cradle will rise. Yes, the cradle will rise. I say, rock call. Hey, rock call. Rock call. Rock call. Say never knew better. Rock call. I said rock call. Rock
You told me once about playing roller hockey in big arenas before a show.
That stuff's for people who are serious about their health.
You don't do that anymore?
Nah.
That was last week.
What are we doing this week? You're gonna have to invent a new sport.
Yeah.
How about,
Wall helmets and glove shoes.
do you know what a wall helmet or glove shoes is?
Uh-uh.
So a wall helmet is a device that you put on your head. It's got a suction cup on it. And what you do is you make the person who's wearing it kind of bend over in a 90-degree angle like this, and you stick them to the wall.
And then the glove shoes,
And use your imagination for the
have
rest.
gloves attached to the shoes, see? And then you put your hands in the gloves. And they're part of the shoes. So you get the picture?
I'm getting the picture.
In color.
Technicolor.
Let's assume the position.
Yeah, I think both have described Van Halen music as big rock. What would that mean to someone who has never seen you?
I mean, it's going to cost them $9.50 to get in.
And that's this week.
Seriously, what it is, the reason we use big rock is because if you use the term hard rock or, well, whatever term you want to use, people have right away a certain impression of what they think you are.
Or what you look like, or what you sound like.
So we use big rock as a term
to confuse them.
Right. Because what we should have just said is Van Halen, and that's what it sounds like. We don't sound like anybody else. I mean, when you hear Van Halen, you know it's...
For better or worse.
There it is.
A great name for an
album. If you say
album.
heavy metal, then it conjures up a specific sound on the record, specific format for songs.
Mm-hmm.
Which
and
is
everybody's
okay.
wearing leather clothes and
Yeah,
big
everybody's
belts.
got leather pants with big belts.
And makeup.
And that's wonderful. You know?
Rubber underwear.
Yeah, rubber underwear. So, but that's okay. I guess you gotta have a new one every year. And
A new pair of underwear?
No, Alex. You're a heavy metal band. Anyways.
Sorry. Here we go. And you're off and running.
Nothing stays the same. Unchanged. And you hit the ground running chains. Ain't nothing stays the same. Unchanged. Yeah, you hit the ground running. Nothing stays the same. Unchanged. Yeah, you hit the ground running. Change. Nothing stays the same. Unchanged. Yeah, you hit the ground running. Woo-hoo! Take a look at this. Hey, man, that suit is you. Woo-wee. You'll get some leg tonight for sure. Tell us how you do. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Come on, Dave, give me a break.
Hey, one break coming up. Ain't nothing stays the same. Unchanged. Yeah, you hit the ground running. Change. Ain't nothing stays the same. Unchanged. Yeah, you hit the ground running. Change. Ain't nothing stays the same. Unchanged. Yeah, you hit the ground running. Change. Ain't nothing stays the same. Unchanged.
You guys are really very proficient musicians, but I think, and especially Ed, I mean, really an excellent guitarist and recognized as such by people who should know, like Les Paul. But the critics have treated you really less than kindly about that
cares?
in general. It doesn't bother you?
No, not at all, because the critics don't come to see the show. They come for a few minutes and then they leave. It's the proof is in the pudding. It's the 3 nights in LA when we play there. It's like tonight if you're coming to the show. It's the 3 nights in Detroit where the kids have a good time. What more can I say?
Well, back in the past, when I was treated so coldly, my love life was a dire disgrace. Needed someone to love and hold me. That's one of the reasons that I was out of place. So, this love, well, she finally gives me. Had me all worked up inside. I was in love, but Cupid missed me. She up and left, and I almost died. But I was young and I was far from lonely. I've been that way for a long year. Needed a girl to call my one and only. Is that you?
Critics mean nothing.
They don't buy records.
Yeah, critics don't buy records. They just, have you ever seen a critic, Mary? Most of them look like Elvis and
Most of them.
Elvis Costello. Or they just look like Costello from Abbott and Costello. Or they look like my dad. And that's, who cares what they think? And then, they take Van Halen very, very personally.
They do.
Yeah, because, we're not artists in the sense that they want somebody who looks a certain way and takes himself very, very seriously. And they want, you know, the album covers to be tasteful. And they want the music, they want the music to be provocative. And by that definition and by comparison, Van Halen is dirty and nasty and too loud and too much. Now dig, I got $10 on you. You wanna go to a concert? Which one? You decide. You wanna go see something tasteful and provocative or something dirty and too loud and too much?
I'll go for the disgusting one.
And they know that too. And that just pisses them off even more. So it's like, and the whole time the critics are sitting there, you know, pounding out more adjectives about Van Halen on the typewriter. Their kids are at home in bed under the covers with a flashlight and a Van Halen program.
Alice on the islands on a cool summer night. Buddy, you don't got to hurry, take your time. What you need is on the menu and you get it tonight. Buddy, you got women's on your mind. Could this be magic or could this be love? Could this turn tragic? You know that magic often does. And I see lonely ships upon the water. Better save the women and children first. Sail away with someone's daughter. Better save the women and children first. I hear music on the landing and there's laughter in the air. Just could be your boat is coming in. Yeah, you leaning back, yeah, foot tapping, ain't got your head right. There's a full moon out tonight, baby, let's begin. She said, could this be magic? Or could this be love? Uh-oh. And I said, could this be tragic? You know that magic often does. But I say, lonely ships upon the water. Better save the women and children first. Sail away with someone's daughter. Better save the women and children first. Edward, thank you. Magic, or could this be love? And I say, could this be tragic? You know that magic often does. And I see lonely ships upon the water. Better save the women and children first. Sail away with someone's daughter. Better save the women and children first. Yes, sir.
You know, you have fans all over the world who are real attached to you. Do you, either of you, feel any personal obligation or any kind of obligation to fans? Because, you know, they'll eat you alive if you let them.
It's, you know, it gets crazy after a while. Of course you want people to like the music. Of course you're going to want people to have a good time. On the other hand, it's, you know, you got your own life to lead. Life is not a popularity contest. So, go your own way. And there comes a point, you know, nowadays we get followed. I got followed in L.A. They followed me for 2 miles, and I'm a good evasive driver, man. Finally, I just stopped in the middle of the road. I said, this is it. And I figured, you know, either they were going to shoot me or I'd have to sign an autograph. You know, either way, I wasn't going to lead them up to where I was living,
right.
You know. And started to reach in the glove compartment for a pencil, and they got a terrified look on their face and split, right, and drove up. So I see a letter in Circus Magazine about 2 weeks ago from 2 guys in Los Angeles. Says, hey, we saw you know, David Lee Roth driving down the street, and we just started to follow him, you know, and everything. We followed him for a little ways and everything, and then all of a sudden, he just, you know, he wouldn't slow down, you know, and he just stopped in the middle of the road, and he went to reach for something in his glove compartment, man, and we got scared, and we're never buying a Van Halen record ever again, because we think that's, you know what I mean? At that point, it gets a little tedious, you know, but, on the other hand, hey, it's great to make noise and, you know, get excited over something.
We aim it at entertain you, leaving here, we aggravate you. Don't you know it means the same to me? Honey, I'm the one you love. Come on, baby, show your love. Give it to me.
On the same line as the stuff you just said, you guys have a bunch of bodyguards that travel with you all the time?
Well, when you go on the road, it becomes more than fans. It becomes more than people who like you. There's a whole lot of people who don't like Van Halen, and that's fine. But sometimes they'll do more than just voice that. And there's a lot of crazies out there. I don't have to go into that. And you got to be careful. Everybody else I know in the music business, everybody's got to be tight because you just never know. You sign autographs, you know. Somebody pull a knife out behind you. Well, after one time of that, then you don't let anybody stand behind you when you sign an autograph anymore. Because rock and roll is not Las Vegas. It's a lot more extreme, and it's a lot more passionate, and people react in a lot more passionate and extreme manner.
Same old faces and I hear that same old talk, and I'm searching for the latest thing I break in this routine. I'm talking some new kicks, ones like you ain't never seen. This is home. This is Main Street. It's our home, the only one I know. Sick of these four walls. Now what you think is nothing might be something after all. Now you know this ain't no food street and this dead ahead. The poor folks play for keeps down here. They're the living dead. Come on down to Main Street. They're dancing now. Take what's mine. We're searching for the latest thing I break in this routine. Talking some new kicks, ones like you ain't never seen. This is home. This is Main Street. It's our home. Only one I know. A gun is real easy in this desperate part of town. Turns you from hunted into hunter. You go and hunt somebody down. Wait a minute now. Somebody said fair warning. Love.
start out instrumentally, and you then come up, Dave, with the lyrics? Is that right?
Basically.
It changes. Sometimes music comes first. Sometimes words come first. Sometimes you have
Come
to go
together.
You have to go to the studio to get inspired. Sometimes it just never happens. Some of our best songs we haven't written yet. So, yeah. Hey, there's a great song we never wrote that's going to be on the next album, maybe. Didn't make it onto this one because there wasn't enough room, you know. We wrote the last song and then the first song, and then we filled up the middle of the record. And we had this other song that we hadn't written, and there just wasn't any room in it. So I said, well, let's put it in the cracks, you know, a little bit of it in between each song. And then by the end of the record, you'll have heard the whole tune. And everybody said, nah. So,
well, you know, that song was so good because we hadn't written the music or the words yet.
It was great. And
I love that one. That's my favorite song.
Oh, yeah. Check me out on the good side here. When my baby's on the corner and she's looking so fine, put one and one together and it blows my mind. Man needs love to live, I'm the living proof. Catch that smiling eye at the roof. Big double take, but keep on walking. I'm in love. Once over, I'm overdone. This is love. Ooh, I need your loving. Come on, baby, take me home. This is love. Ooh, I need your loving. I'm just getting born. Going out my way, no my way around. The grass is never greener and there are plenty around. All the other girls, they be put to shame. Over the edge and here I stay. Got me on pins and needles. And she knows she's mine and ain't letting go. This is love. And ooh, I need your love, baby. Take me home. This is love. Ooh, I need your loving. I know. Got me all pins and needles. Yes, she knows she's mine and ain't letting go. This is love. Ooh, I need your love. This is love. Ooh, I need your love. Baby, got to have your love. Ooh, I need got to have that love, baby, baby. Get love. This is love. This is love.
On a more personal level,
Uh-oh.
success. It must have changed your life a bunch. Or has it? Really?
No.
now we just do what we've always done in more places. Now vacation time is a lot more fun. You know, we get to travel some. And everybody goes their own ways, you know, when we are off the road. And then you have new things to bring back for the music or for the show or just traveling. That's what I like. What do you like, Al?
What would you be doing if it wasn't fun?
Robbing banks.
Oh.
I'd be a pimp.
I don't know.
Here I am, ain't no man of the world.
Halen, Off the Record with Mary Turner has been brought to you by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. The U.S. Navy. Navy, it's not just a job, it's an adventure. And Levi's Shoes and Boots, real fine footwear. Get into some today. Levi's Shoes and Boots. This special program was written and produced by Marsha Richardson and